So that is about this topic. Hope you understood the mandate of this topic. Simple topic. Going to next idea. 9.7 Concepts and methods of ecological anthropology. As part of that, we'll be seeing biocultural adaptations, genetic and non-genetic factors, man's physiological responses to environmental stresses like hot desert, cold altitude, high altitude, climate. Now, first I want you guys to be familiar with this term adaptation. What is adaptation? Already I told you once. Adaptation means, our ability to, like, did you guys get adapted to Ashok Nagar environment? It will take some time. Previously it used to be good. Now it has become so much crowded, isn't it? During our times in early last decade, 2011, 12, it was much better. It was not as crowded as it is. Of course, I never stayed here much. I stayed here only for 3-4 months. Still, it was far better than what it is now. Now I came to know from students that it has become very difficult to get rooms, food and all. I heard now it is good. What I'm trying to essentially say is this: it takes time to adapt to new type of people, new type of food, new type of weather, new type of housing, isn't it? We're all humans, so it takes time for us to adapt. Just like this, there are two types of adaptations. One, biological adaptations. Two, cultural adaptations. What is that? Biological adaptations. Two, cultural adaptations. So what is this biological adaptations? What is this cultural adaptations? Biological adaptations means our body will get adapted. Let's say you have come, let's say you guys have come recently to Ashok Nagar. Is there any sudden change in your body? Maybe you would have ordered so many biryanis from Bawarchi, you would have become a little fat. Apart from that, is there any significant difference in your body? Nothing. Let's say tomorrow morning, if I arrange a special flight for you and I take you all to Himalayas. So how do you feel? That too I have taken you to Mount Everest peak. What is your first response? Will you be normal like this, sitting, wearing the same dress? Many things will happen. Just imagine what all things will happen. You will start shivering and you will start feeling extremely cold. Your ears, your feet, your fingers, everything will become numb. Have you ever been to any hill station? Some of you would have been to some hill station. Or let's say tomorrow afternoon I'll put you all in the Thar desert. Just imagine how it will be. Again, isn't it so hot? Dreadfully hot, isn't it? Then certain changes will happen in your body. Some changes will happen in your body, right? Whatever that could be. You will start sweating. I'll ask one simple commonsensical question. Where your hairs will rise, in Himalayas or in Thar? Why not in Thar? Where you will start urinating more, in Himalayas or in Thar? Why? Where you will shiver, in Himalayas or in Thar? Where you will like to, curl up yourself and sleep, in Himalayas or Thar? Again, why? That is what we will study in this topic. Why certain things we do when we go to a desert climate? Why certain changes will happen in your body when we go to a high altitude climate or when we go to a cold climate? Sometimes high altitude and cold climate will be the same, isn't it? High altitudes also have cold climate. But there are places with cold climate without high altitude also, isn't it? There are such places. Yeah, Antarctica, Antarctica, all these they are not high altitude, but they are cold climatic regions. But generally, wherever it is high altitude, there will also be a cold climate. That is what we will study in this topic. So, biological adaptations. Simple. Again, just visualize. You would have seen lots of movies. You go to Thar desert in Rajasthan, and let's say when you see people, will they be dressed up the same way as the people in Himalaya? Both of them, of course, now people are wearing same jeans and same boring t-shirt. Let's say 100 years before. Let's imagine 100 years before. 100 years before, I know there is no flight, but still, if we have that opportunity to go to Himalayas and Thar, both same day, do we find them dressed the same way? Why? They are dressed a different way. Or do you find them eating the same food? Do we find same types of houses? No. No same types of houses. They don't eat same type of food. They don't wear same types of clothes. Just like that, going little deeper, they may also be not having same type of culture, type of marriage, type of economy, type of marriage, type of economy, type of kinship system also may be different. That we will be discussing. But the whole topic is all about that. There are different types of environments, and for different types of environment we adapt. We means humans, and our adaptation is both biological and also cultural. Our adaptation is both biological and cultural, but our adaptation is also behavioral. Behavioral means simple, common sense. Let's say it is extremely cold outside. Will you take off shirt and go? It's a common sense, right? Our behavior will be, we will not move out if it is extremely cold. Same is the case if it's a desert. Will you pack yourself with so many woolen cloths? You also won't do that. Why? It's common sense. Let's say it's hot desert. You will play cricket there. What type of games you will try to prefer? Indoor games you will try to prefer, isn't it? So certain things also depends on our behavior. We also try to adapt our behaviors according to the climate we are in. So what type of adaptations we have discussed? Biological, cultural and behavioral adaptations is what we will be studying as part of this topic. That is the gist of this topic. What is this ecosystem? Desert ecosystem. What is this ecosystem? Arctic or Antarctic ecosystem. What is this? It's a tropical rainforest ecosystem. Each of them, is there anything specific in this camel? With your childhood knowledge, tell me that it might have developed to suit its desert living. Where water is? Camels have a hump, right? You know that? It's in school textbooks also. Camels have a hump. What type of adaptation it is? It's a biological adaptation. Do they have any culture? They're animals. Biological adaptation. What is any adaptation? Can you see here? Thick fur on their skin. Thick fur on their skin. And here, like in tropical climate, it's actually a tropical rainforest. And it's a tropical rainforest. Generally, these animals living on the tree itself is one type of adaptation that you may not be aware and you need not know also. In the syllabus, they have given us only humans. They do not expect us to study about any animals. Just for your understanding, I'm saying these are different adaptations camels develop. In syllabus, there are no camels, no dogs, nothing. But just for familiarizing you with the term adaptation, I'm hump. Then thick eyebrows. Why thick eyebrows? To prevent dust from falling into its eyes. Broad mouth, so it can drink more water in less time. Thick fur. Why thick fur? No. Exactly. Deserts, you will be taught in your geography. Deserts will become extremely cold during nights. Deserts will become extremely cold during nights. So that is the reason, camels have thick fur on their. You may be thinking, what's wrong? Maybe the diagram is incorrect. It's not incorrect. Deserts generally have very high temperature during the night times. Okay. Behavioral adaptations, I told, right? Certain behaviors also we have according to. Guess where this house could be? Housing is a cultural adaptation. Housing is a cultural adaptation. This house, what ecosystem? What ecosystem? Ah, be more specific. It's a house in Jodhpur. Desert kind of climate. That's dust filters. So that, and also the minimum heat should enter the house. That is how they have built the house. Where is this house? It's also tropical. It's a house in Kerala. People in Kerala, how they have built their house? It's raining. It always rains. So rain should not stay. It has to immediately roll down. So they prefer to build house that way. Where is this? These are Mandua house. If somebody is from Godavari districts, you must have seen. Even today, you go to that Amalapuram region, Konasima region, and some parts of West Godavari, you find even today this Mandua types of houses. And anybody from Rayalaseema have lived in any typical Rayalaseema houses? In Rayalaseema also, the kind of stone they use, the construction material they use, and the building design. Building design is unique to different places, ma. Different places have different building designs. Now we have done like this. We have made it boring. Just go to any old part of the city. Go to old Chennai, go to old Hyderabad, old Ahmedabad, old Lucknow, old part of Calcutta. Do you find them the same? No. Different areas will have different types of buildings, different heritage structures. You go to all new parts of the city. You go to Navi Mumbai, you go to our, Gachibowli, you go to, that part of Sholinganallur part of Chennai or electronic city of Bangalore, you will find same boring glass buildings, aluminium buildings everywhere. In the name of modernity, we have made it boring. Everywhere buildings look the same. Ideally, different climates, different weathers should be having different types of, that would have been, that's the beauty, right? That's the diversity. What else is diversity? Cultural diversity is this. But in the name of homogenization, means everybody want buildings to look this way. Even I have seen, these days people have become so dumb. In Rayalaseema, that too in districts like Anantapur and Kadapa, people are building houses with lot of glass, lot of marble. This does not suit your weather. Just because some random guy in the city has built his house with glass and aluminium, why should I in a dumb way I have to imitate it? I should not imitate it, right? I have to build something that suits my ecosystem. Why our power bills are inflating? I do remember one of the heritage homes in which my grandparents used to stay. There is absolutely no need to switch on fans for most part of the year. Only for 1-2 months they used to switch on fans. I remember the power bills, 30 rupees, 40 rupees. Less than 100 rupees always. My grandfather is very strict. He will not allow even one light to be switched on. And also there is no necessity to fans also. They never lived their whole life with any ACs. That too living in, I am from Kadapa district. It's so hot, you must be aware. Even coming from such a place, I still remember there is only 1 or 2 fans in the house. Because the buildings are such that they don't demand any too much spending on ventilation or too much spending on maintenance of the ambient temperature. They are well ventilated. The way in which the windows are built, the way in which the doors are built, everything is such that there is a free flow of air. They very well know the local ecosystem, from which direction the wind flows, from which place the wind flows, and which season the wind flows in which direction. That local construction, local builders, they have a good knowledge, but we don't pay heed to them. We will bring them some building design from Hyderabad, or you would have seen some building design in Bangalore, and you want your house to be built that way. It's not necessary. Of course, because of that, what has happened now, that local construction materials have become more expensive. One of my friend has a farmhouse, and that guy, he is trying to, in his farmhouse, he want to build one traditional rural hut like thing. It is now costing him more than a regular house, because something which has to be very cheap and affordable has become very expensive. That bamboo twigs, now they have become expensive because demand is gone and only few people have that skill. something which is native, something which is natural to us has become expensive. Isn't it? Yes. So that is what we'll be discussing, or you can expect as part of this topic. And you have some little bit of biology also as part of this. We'll be studying that sweating, how sweating happens, all those things. They're easy. Once you see a couple of images, you will not find it difficult at all. Then epidemiological anthropology, health and disease, infectious and non-infectious diseases, nutritional deficiency related diseases. Don't think that we will be studying any medicine here. There is not much medicine here because the topic itself is like that. Have you heard this term epidemic? When did you hear? Are you guys all in India when COVID-19 came? All of you? Sure? What is COVID-19? Pandemic means? It is an epidemic. Okay, I don't think you guys are in India. Otherwise, you would have definitely heard this name. COVID-19, we are still, maybe still we did not come out of COVID-19. Isn't it? COVID-19 is nothing but it's an epidemic of global scale. So we have called it a pandemic. So epidemiological anthropology is going to be a very important topic for us. Previously, we used to not take it seriously. But after COVID-19, we have to expect questions from this topic, epidemiological anthropology. What is the meaning of the term epidemiology? I'm just curious. Epidemiology. Epidemiology. No, not outside. Epidemiology. It must be new to you. Nothing but study of disease burden. Epidemiology is nothing but study of disease burden. Disease burden means, what is disease burden? Simple. Let's take Himayat Nagar and let's take one remote village in Srikakulam district. And let's say 100 people are dying every year from Himayat Nagar and 100 people are dying every year from that remote village in Srikakulam district. Now ask yourself this question. People dying in that part of the Telugu states and here, the reasons for their death, will they be exactly same? They'll be different. Why? Why do you think they'll be different? And what could be the difference? You understood my question? You need not have an answer, but at least if you understood the question, 100 people are dying there, 100 people are dying here. But the reasons for their death, will they be exactly the same? They'll be different there, they'll be different here. But why? That's my question. Why they could be different? Just any guesses you can make? Why people would be dying there? And for what reasons people would be dying there and for what reasons people would be dying here? Environment means what exactly? Where water pollution and all? In Srikakulam? In Himayat Nagar? What is the difference between that place and this place? This is a city, right? Whereas that is a rural area. So what? Just because that's a city, this is a city, that is a rural area, why should people dying should die with different reasons? Yeah, online students? Why are you not even trying to answer? See, whenever a question is asked here, question also is for you. Okay? Don't think that we are saved. Please don't do that. Did I ask a really tough question? No, it's not a tough question. Okay. You did not have prepared for civil services examination to answer this question. It's a commonsensical question. Environment, okay, you are stuck at environment. Okay, environment also is a reason, I agree. What resources, ma? Yeah. Yeah, what you have said is almost correct. See, there people generally will die of infectious diseases more. somewhat more. Infectious diseases like typhoids, malarias, because it's a forested region. So possibility of infectious disease is more. Water contamination is more. They might not be drinking pure water or potable water, or maybe if it is very close to forest, snake bites, animal attacks. Here people will be dying predominantly of heart attack, stress. Isn't it? They have less stress when compared to us, undoubtedly. So here people will be dying of heart attacks, cerebrovascular strokes, cancers when compared to them. It doesn't mean that there you don't have strokes, there you don't have cardiovascular attacks, there you don't have cancers. There also you have, but more here. Here you have less malaria, less dengue, less infectious diseases. Here more diseases of lifestyle. There more diseases related to infection, diseases related to poor infrastructure likewise. So did you understand disease burden, how it varies from a rural area and a urban area? So such a thing we will be discussing in this topic. Epidemiological anthropology means there are some social factors responsible. There are some social factors also responsible. Generally, if I ask you a simple question, girls anemia in India, 51% of all the girls are suffering from anemia. Anemia, you know, anemia means lack of blood, iron in blood. Can you be a little more specific? Hemoglobin, less hemoglobin, right? Is this biology? This is common sense. Okay, there is not much biology in anthropology, let me tell you. Only thing is that all these days you guys have not taken it seriously. Now you have to take it seriously. That's it. There is not much biology. Anemia means less hemoglobin in the blood. Okay, and it's not at all difficult also. Less hemoglobin in the blood. Again, one random guess. Where do you think you will find more anemic girls? In rural areas or in urban areas? Why? Why, ma? Why? In urban areas, parents are not taking care. No, actually, it's other way around. In urban areas, there is no dearth for food, and in urban areas, the discrimination in the name of culture also is less. Girls enjoy more or less the same social status as the boys do. In rural areas, even today, if parents have limited resources, the first priority they will give to a boy child. Let's say if they have money to educate only one child, if they have two children, if one is women or if one is girl, they will prefer to educate a boy child. There is a possibility that this fellow is dumber when compared to her. They would think, okay, she's intelligent, she'll somehow live. This guy seems to be dumb, let me spend money on him, he'll let him. It's not that they don't have love. They may have love, but it's part of our culture. Who is the first priority? Male child is my first priority. That's part of our culture. They also even don't have regret about it, or they don't feel bad about it. They think it's okay, it's normal. I have two children, I have limited resources. I have a boy, I have a girl, then I have to spend normally on the boy. That will be the attitude in the rural areas. Generally, there might be exceptions. Whereas in urban areas, such a thing you will not see. If there is limited food, then they will try to give food equally to both boys and girls. There will be nothing like less food to girl, more food to boy. Such a thing will not be there in urban areas. Culturally also, girls enjoy better social status, or girls enjoy better care, better attention, better nutrition in the urban areas when compared to rural areas. That is the reason hemoglobin deficiencies or anemia is more rampant in the rural areas than in the urban areas. Is it clear? Yeah. So these are the kind of topics which we'll be discussing in this particular topic, epidemiological anthropology. Health and disease, infectious diseases, non-infectious diseases, nutritional deficiency related diseases, such topics we'll be discussing. And this also we'll be discussing how they vary across populations also we will be discussing. Across populations means rural, urban, tribal, mainstream, like that. Then concept of read it quickly. Concept of human growth and development, stages of growth, prenatal, natal, infant, childhood, adolescence, maturity, senescence. Then factors affecting growth and development. Factors affecting growth and development. What factors? Genetic, environmental, biochemical, nutritional, cultural, and socio-economic. Then aging and senescence. Then again theories and observations. Theories and observations. Then you have human physique and somatotypes. Methodologies for growth studies. These are the topics you will be seeing. See them again. Concept of human growth and development, stages of growth, factors affecting growth and development, aging and senescence, theories and observations, human physique and somatotypes, methodologies for growth studies. Now let's see one after one. In that particular topic, what we will see? Concept of human growth and development. It's suggestive, right? We will study growth, human growth and development. Generally we think both are same, right? Growth and development, but they are different. How they are different we will see in the regular session, but there is different. Growth means just growing. Growth is a quantitative thing, development is a qualitative thing. Okay, let's say you are growing tall, but you should be intelligent, only then we call it development. That's one simple way of understanding the difference. It's not very accurate, but that's one simple way of understanding the difference between human growth and development. Let's say some growth is a development of a well-built structure. Development means it also should have the same level of function. Same level of function. Right? Then prenatal, natal, infant. What are all these different stages of the growth? This is one stage. All of you would have come from this stage. Later you would have gone to this stage. Later this stage. Later this stage. Maybe now you are in this stage. Later you will become this stage. This stage. Finally this stage. These are all different stages. So what will happen in different stages? We will just see it very superficially in 3-4 statements like this. This is how it starts. This is how it ends. Then we will study in depth about all this signs of getting old. Any curious? Why do we get old? Any reason? Did you ever think? Why are we becoming old?